So let's get started. I'd like you to just set an intention for today's session. So to do that, it is best when we sit nice and upright and just close the eyes for a moment to just internalize your vision. Try to relax your shoulders, elongate your spine, take one full breath in through your nose. And slowly as you exhale, just gently lift your abdominal wall up and back. Again, breathe in. And as you breathe out, lift your pelvic floor muscles. These are the deep muscles right underneath your pelvis. Again, inhale. And exhale. Gently draw your pelvic floor, your lower belly up and back. And inhale as you let go and release. Let's set an intention for today's session, how you're going to practice this. Try to focus on your breathing throughout the session, listening to my instructions, which will be to help you become more aware of your body position. Let's begin. Gently open your eyes to begin this session. Let's stretch the legs right in front, okay? For the first practice, I want you to create a bit of awareness in your foot, your toes, your ankles, your knee, hips, right? So the balance in our body begins right from the foot. We sense it and then it travels all the way up. It is such a fraction of a second that it takes for us to balance and control ourselves. And a lot of muscles come and play into it. So let's get started. Contract your toes first, simple mobilization, and then stretch. Again, contract and stretch. Try to relax everything else and focus only on your toes. There is no perfection we're looking for. Contract your toes and stretch. Again, contract and stretch. Let's do one more time. Contract and then just stretch. Now, point your toes nice and long. Fully stretch. Flex your ankles. Try a little bit harder. So really press your toes forward and then flex your ankles. Try not to lift your heels also. And again, point. This will activate the muscles in your shin and the calf. Now, for the next technique, contract your toes and just stretch your toes and flex, right? So there is a small movement there, a little bit of mind game, and lifting it back up. You notice that you're just moving your toes, but every other muscle in your leg start to play up to your hip. You're just moving your toes, but it's all the way up to your hip you can feel. Let's try one last time and bring it back and then release. Now turn the soles towards each other. You notice how I turn my foot in and then you turn the feet out, right? Really press it. And this is a side movement that we have in our foot. Basically when you're going uphill, downhill, right? Or if you're walking on an uneven surface, this is what happens to your foot. It starts to turn around this way, that way, and it will adjust everything and from there all the way up to your head. So we control that and then release. Now for the next one, we just do small circle. Small circle, 4, 5, and reverse 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's do the other side. The ankle mobility is one of the best technique, okay? I would say if we have our ankle much more mobile and plus stronger, like you could see the ballerinos, right? They got strong ankles. So everything else above it start to play well, okay? You have a strong base. For the next technique, we're going to pull the foot in here. See, you can use the block, okay, for this particular technique. Come up on your feet. Let's separate your feet nice and wide. And what I'm trying to do here is just stretch my inner thighs. This part of my hip area should stretch open. Now, you have very sensitive and important areas, okay? You don't want to overforce anything. Just tighten up your pelvic floor, like gently lifting this, the skin right under there. Pull it up, and then you stretch. Let your inner thigh stretch out. Don't overdo it. You want it to release, right? Not break. So focus on that. Now, at some point, you might feel a lot of work happening at this area. Let's move your feet in a bit more. And then try to just keep your knees opened. See, if you have problems with your knee, you might find it a little bit difficult. But I mentioned earlier as well, most people have knee pain, have a lot of immobility in the hip joint. So if we become more mobile at the hips, eventually the knee will not hurt, right? So turn out and just keep working through that range of motion you're looking for to get nice and deep into this position. So you can notice that we're actually coming very, very close to this point here, where you just open up your knees and stay. Now, bring your toes in. So notice that when I'm sitting here, my feet are nice and flat. I'm pushing down. So place your elbows on top of your knees. I'll give you a side view. When you're sitting like this, you're not sitting back, you're sitting forward, okay? And the reason you're sitting forward because you want to stretch out your calf, activate your shins. So press and hold. Let's stay here for 6, 5, keep pushing your knees forward, 4, 3, 2, and you can feel that stretch in your calf, and 1, and release. Now let's do this with one leg. You can also use a block, okay? I'm just gonna take one of these blocks, or maybe both. So to do that with block, first thing is you keep your foot flat like this. Then stretch your right leg in the front, and just push the weight on your left knee. So you're actually shifting the weight forward, okay? You're not going backwards. So keep the weight forward nicely. Once we work through this, hold the position and breathe. Now, some of you may use a block to just support. Again, do not sit on it. Move forward. Use the hand to push your body forward, okay? So, I'm going to try without the blocks since I already can do it. So we go here. Now you could either leave it like that or place your hand on top of the knee and catch your foot. This should build up over time. You should be able to balance like this. Hold the position. Let's breathe. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. There's a lot of work coming into your leg. You could feel that. Now, change it to the other leg. Let's stretch the other leg out. Put your hand on top of the knee and just wait for a while, please. It will work. See, the entire pressure is on the foot. This actually helps you strengthen your arches and your foot as well. So push and hold and breathe. If you can, try to balance fully on one of that. Let's hold. 6, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release everything down. Let's pull the foot back. We're going to stand up now, and as we stand up, we'll do a bunch of practices to help you out, okay, with the technique. So we're going to nicely stretch the arms overhead at some point, okay? You're going to focus more on, whenever I want you to keep your hands up like this, you have to focus on not shrugging your shoulders. So do not do that, right? Just stretch your arms how much you can. So you actually want to straighten your elbows. This is the number one part, right? This is what you want to stretch, not raise the shoulders so high, okay? So let's work this out together. For the first position, stand with your feet separate, feet together, not separate for the first one. Let's raise the hands up over the head, okay? You stretch yourself up. First thing, you're going to raise your heels up and nicely balance right on your toes. This is a technique. It will help you strengthen your legs. So we're going to work on your legs. Lower the heels and suck your belly nicely, exhaling, tightening up your abs as you sit deeper. Stay in the position, holding your hands straight. Keep your neck long. 6, 5, 4, stretch your elbow nicely. 3, 2, 1. Fully stand upright and release your hands. Okay, let's try another variation. To do that, you'll stand with your feet together again. This time, put your hands right in the front. Raise your heels up. Now, lower your heels and lower your hips. Sit down. Suck your belly in. Maintain a normal arch. Never tuck under like this. This is never a good idea. Keep your back nice and arched. You have the spine and let the spine move. You just want to focus on sitting. Hold. 6. Try not to lean forward. Try stay back a little bit more. 5. You must be hurting from yesterday's class, right? 4. Should be feeling your legs by now. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, you stand upright. Raise your heels up again. Lower your heels down, lower the hips, and just quickly pick your heels up. Lower the pelvis. 6. This is a little extra challenge for you guys. 5, 4, keep pressing. 3, you should feel your calf and your legs. 2, and 1. Stand fully upright and release. So all of that, right? In the next technique, we vary our arm positions to work different parts of your spine and the leg muscles, okay? So hands outside like this. Move your hands slightly behind you, okay? Chin pressing down to the chest. And as you exhale, lower your hips nice and down. Keep your hands back, chest forward, chin down, hold. 6, 5, 4, 3, keep stretching, gently squeeze the shoulders, shoulder blades. 2, and 1, stand upright and release. Let's put your hands behind, interlock your fingers. Now I need you to separate your feet to your hip distance. Hands behind, like this. Inhale. On the exhalation, lean forward and simply bend over and exhale. Lose your head, neck. Just breathe. Let it happen. Now, bend your knees and sit down. Fingers pointing back, chest opens up, look up and hold. 1, 2, and stand fully upright and release. So we move on for the next posture. In the next practice, we'll have your hands going on your back, okay? So join your hands like this, right in your back. With your hands nice and together, it looks like this. Okay, if you can't do that one, you could just cross your elbows and hold it this way. So you have an option to look for. Okay. In this position, feet together, you focus on your chin on the chest. Once you press the chin on the chest, you want to go down nicely. Okay, so inhale and exhale. Lower and hold. 1, 2, keep breathing. 6 breath. Tighten up your pelvic floor muscles, the base lock we call in yoga. And you inhale as you stand fully upright. Release your hands and let it go. Move on to the next practice. Keep your feet nice and together. Inhale as you raise your arms up over your head. Join your hands, lower your hips and pelvis, and now twist. Pass your one elbow across the knee, opposite knee, and open up your chest. In this position, do not collapse like this. Try to pull yourself up like you press down. Open the chest, look up. 6 breath. Breathe. Release fully and return. Let's try it again. Take your hands up. Inhale, and then as you exhale, lower your hips and twist the other way around. Make sure your hands are not joined so close to your chest. Just open up fully. And breathe 6 times. You can look up to the ceiling. Make sure both your feet are firm. You're lifting and breathing. Stay calm. This is all going to finish, but you have to breathe and enjoy the moment. Release and return. Final position that will test your balance and help you open up your hips, okay? The back of your hips. To do that, place your feet separate to your hip distance. You could use the block. Put it under your feet, under your hands in order to make it work, okay? So you could use the block. Place your one leg over the ankle over your knee. Hold this position, flexing your ankle, stay. You could try lowering your hip, pelvis, and join your hands like this. You can stay here and just breathe as you stay. This should stretch your hip, right? This part should feel the pressure coming on your foot. Stronger. Breathe. I want you to lower a little bit more each time. 3, 2. Now, let's challenge. Put your hands down on the floor. If you like, you can lower your hips a bit more. This stretches even more. I'll show you the side view on the other side. Push yourself up and come back in. Really, all of these practices are mainly about challenging your mind, right? Because you feel the pain, you feel something is really pulling apart, and how do you fight it out, right? Quietly, calm, right? Patience, all of that. So it builds up all together, everything. Let's try the other leg. I'm just going to show you slowly, side view. We'll try, please change your leg. Lower down, hold and breathe. 6. Lower a little more. 5. This is much more efficient than just lying down and stretching your hip. You could stay there for another 6 breaths, or some of you can try putting your hands on the block or on the floor and then lower your hip a little bit more. Stay, still balancing, still controlling with your hands. 6. Release and come out of it and return.